So welcome back to What Would They Listen To, and today I'm going to be talking about the characters from Penn Zero Part-Time Hero. For those that don't know what this segment is, this is basically me kind of blending my two loves together. Cartoons, music. And the trick of the whole thing of this segment is that I kind of talk about what would the characters of a certain show watch on their off time. What kind of music would they listen to on their off time? There's the word I was looking for. Yeah, so more or less I'm kind of delving into, based on personality, what would they listen to on their off time, or have it on their iPod when they're, being part-time heroes. So let's start things off with Penn. Penn, right out the gate, that dude would probably be a Real Big Fish fan. He would be a huge fan of the band Real Big Fish. It just sounds like something he would listen to on his off time. Like, that would be something like, I'm trying to think of a good song he would be listening to. Maybe their cover of "Kiss Me Deadly." Yeah, that would probably be one of them. The Lita Ford cover. Just any song in general from Real Big Fish. He would definitely be a Real Big Fish fan. Among other things, I could see him listening to "They Might Be Giants" would be one. I'd even see some classic stuff like Peter Gabriel. For some reason or another, Penn strikes me as a fan of Peter Gabriel. I could just imagine him listening to Sledgehammer, mostly because Sledgehammer is an awesome song. If you haven't heard Sledgehammer by Peter Gabriel, go out and listen to it now. It's amazing. He also strikes me as a Phil Collins fan, and Genesis in general. I don't know, he just seems like he would be, outside of Sashi's door, outside of Sashi's apartment, with just blaring Studia, on a boombox, and he's just holding it out. He's like, "Come on! Come down, let's do it!" Oh, man. I kind of even see Penn listening to some more classic stuff. He kind of feels like a Beatles fan. Maybe some Green Day, a little more progressive. Maybe some Breaking Benjamin to balance it out. The Monkees. The Monkees would be also on there. He would have a lot. I think the hardest he would go is alternative rock, and even by then he wouldn't have a lot on there. He strikes me as Penn. Also, I could see him listening to Foo Fighters, really. But yeah, it would be mostly a mixture of the hardest he would go is alternative rock and maybe a little punk in there, like Offspring. Now, let's talk about Sashi. Ooh boy, Sashi. All I hear is angry music from her iPod. That's all it would literally be. That would be the general case of her music. Baby metal would be on there. Not to say she's Japanese, she listens to J-pop metal. No, she would just have it on there. It'd be music to kick ass to. That would be it. I could see her listening to "Gimme Chocolate" while smashing some poor soul's skull in with a crowbar. Among other things, Slipknot, Stone Sour, Metallica, Disturbed, Heaven Shall Burn. Oh yeah, she would go that dark, I think, in some places. Pantera. Oh yeah, she'd be ripping people to pieces while listening to Cowboys from Hell. The lightest she would probably go is maybe Hailstorm, and that's not saying much, because they still do hard stuff. Although I would not be surprised if she had some... she does kind of strike me as when she really wants to mellow out, she'd be listening to Lindsey Sterling, the violinist. She probably would have that as to calm her down, or bring down music. But in the middle of a fight, she'd be straight out moshing to some shit. Some really hardcore shit, man. Not to say the music shit. Oh no, I love that type of music. But yeah, she'd be hardcore. She'd be hardcore shit, dude. Said shit 4 times. My bad. Kinda. Anyway, I'm trying to think of what else Sashi would probably have on her iPod. Maybe some Offspring. That would also be pretty light. And some Green Day, just like Penn. She would probably be introduced to that type of music from Penn, while at the same time she'd try to introduce him to her music. He'd be like, "Oh, no thank you, no thank you, no." So, moving right along to Boone. Boone, oh boy, Boone, that dude would be listening to Weird Al and some really weird music. Like, I could even see him listening to Steam Powered Giraffe. Not to say that music's bad or anything, he just strikes me as listening to Rex Marksley while he's saving the universe with Penn and Sashi. That would be the case. He'd even be listening to, what else would be really out there for him? The Dead Kennedy. Oh yeah, Boone would be a total Dead Kennedys fan. He would totally be a fan of the Dead Kennedys. No questions asked. The hardest I could see him going is maybe not by much. He wouldn't be going so hard on a lot of music. Maybe, I could even see him listening to Panic at the Disco, as well as Fall Out Boy. He'd be a fan of those bands. But yeah, that would probably be the sum of Boone's playlist. The rest, I would say maybe, I don't know. But yeah, let's move on to Phyllis. Phyllis would be listening to some weird shit that I couldn't even imagine. Rippin would he strikes me as an 80s fan. I would not be surprised if he had an El Devo hat in his closet somewhere. Now I just have this image of him going, whip it good. I'm sorry. He also, like, probably he would be a fan of, like, Depeche Mode. He strikes me as a Depeche Mode kind of guy. He really does strike me as a guy who would jam out to Depeche Mode. Like, he would just be listening... Simon and Garfunkel, too, but on the sole ground of... He would just be huddled up in his apartment, just in a fetal position, listening, just with sound of silence going on, just like, hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. There you go. He would just be rocking back and forth, just kind of in a fetal position or crying. Probably also have listening to Dust in the Wind when he's having a really bad day. He also feels like he would be a fan of Kansas and Journey. Like he's like a closet Kansas fan, not like out there, but like a closet fan of Kansas as well as Journey. Not to say those musicians are bad; they're friggin' awesome. Carry On My Wayward Son, fuck yeah. Anyway, and Larry, I don't know. Larry doesn't seem like he would be listening to like weird something. I don't even know where to even begin with Larry. But yeah, I think that rounds about all the characters. So you guys tell me, what could you guys see the cast of Penn Zero Part-Time Hero listening to on their days off? Just comment below, let me know, and once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.